Hello, YouTube! Welcome to another episode of Factorio here at the Fugitive Theater. My name is Tanis Fugit, and this episode we're going to continue doing what we were doing last episode, which I know the last few episodes have been a little bit confused and chaotic, and honestly a bit of a mess, but we learned a lot, we figured a lot out, and every time I take a step forward, I think I'm taking a big step forward, then I end up having to take a couple steps back, but we do always progress in a given direction. Like we're always moving in some forward direction, I promise. And right now we're actually getting well on our way to figuring out the production science packs, the purple science here. We have productivity modules. They have been made. They are, they're automated. They're on belts. They are going to a train eventually once a train is put on this little area. I did create a little area here. You might also notice that I've expanded the rail line over here to sort of start to get the idea of how the blocks are going to look, the individual sort of city block areas. And so I've sort of changed the way some of these interchanges are working, added an extra interchange here, so you can see how this can sort of tile outward, and I can have these little individual production areas. Now, this block, because of the shape of it, it's sort of eaten up a little bit of a weird area, but it has opened up quite a little bit of an area over here that I think this is going to be where I might drop off. I'm thinking we'll do something like, hold on. Yeah, going around this way is the outer loop. Yeah, so I might try and set up a place where it's dropped off here and picked up here for the next item, because the next item for production science is actually rails. And rails, we actually already have a setup making rails, but it's first of all, it uses the bus, so eventually we'll just tear that down. And so I really just want to get this set up outside of the bus. So I'm thinking something like over here. I might have to blow up this last little ridge here, which means I might need to go get cliff explosives, and I'm going to clear up some of these trees. But if I can get it to drop off its material over here, and I can try and maybe prototype a different delivery system, because obviously this up here is I mean, what can I say about it? It's not good. So getting some, but this was an answer to an emergency, and I think it at least answered most of the emergency problems. So yeah, I think that's going to be the idea, is to set this up over here. So I'm going to need cliff explosives. I'm going to need at least a couple to blow this up. I'm not holding on to any, am I? No, I'm not currently. I want to blow this up and maybe try and figure out a different, delivery, drop-off design. So what things do I need in order to make rail? Rail needs raw stone, it needs steel plates, and it needs iron sticks. Now, steel is an interesting one, because steel we don't... Excuse me, I had to burp for a little bit there. Steel is weird, right? Because steel... We don't actually have an answer for steel. Steel is only being produced up, right here, right off of the bus. So if we want to do steel, we actually need to produce steel. So actually, out of this smelting area, it occurs to me that we should be setting up a secondary smelting area. Oh, but I really didn't plan for that. Huh. This is something I, honest to God, did not plan for. What makes the most sense here? There really isn't anything that makes sense. This whole area is really filled up now. I mean, I could put a couple of lines here, but how do I get that transported? No, I think I have to do this elsewhere. In fact, that might be what this area becomes instead of creating rail. This might be... I might set up smelting for steel here instead. Yeah, that seems more like what we're gonna do. Yeah, drop off iron here, it turns into steel and is picked up here and put back on the route. That might be what we do instead. Okay, So here's what we're gonna, so this is what we're gonna do instead, and I think I'm going to do a couple of things. First of all, I'm dancing on top of this rail, and that should honestly terrify you. It terrified me as soon as I realized what I was doing. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna use the other half of that city block to act as steel smelting central. And in order to do that, I'm going to create a bunch of steel furnaces. I'm going to grab a couple of, I'm going to grab a set of explosives here to turn them into cliff explosives, which I do in my hand. This is not an automated process. I have automated the creation of the explosives, but not cliff explosives. And we're going to terraform this sort of inside of this city block here, and we're going to make it so as that we can do steel smelting in here. And then we're going to drop the steel off onto a pickup here. It's not going to be a lot of steel. See, the other issue that I'm having is that that's in no way like scalable, because picking up something like steel is something that I would want to be in some way scalable. So I'd really have to think about that. But it might be doable. I would say that it's probably pretty close to doable. At least I'll give it a shot. Okay, so I'm gonna go into a quick time lapse here, and I will show you guys sort of what comes out on the other end of it, all right? All right, see you then. All right, let's take a look at what we've got going on now. So I did a fair amount. As you can no doubt tell from the time lapse, a non-zero amount of that work is just running around and collecting ingredients. Like, I have not successfully automated a lot of my own job here. And that's like, I think that's like my main failing with this game, is that I'm not really successful at automating the work I am supposed to be automating. Let's see, where's circuit condition? Let's say if there is more than like 1,000 pieces of iron, then you can go off. Okay, so here's what I have done. I created a very simple drop to drop off 1 train's worth of iron here. The iron right now is just being routed to 1 set. These are new, by the way. I've had them for a while. I haven't used them yet. These are electric smelters, so these actually just run on pure electricity. They're not burning coal at all, which is awesome, but they are burning a lot of electricity, which is why I have stuck the efficiency modules onto them. I spent a bunch of time creating a whole set of these modules, and yeah, that's why I've done that. So now I have some amount of steel being produced right here. The steel is now going to be routed over here, where I'm going to go ahead and create like another set of these. We're going to go stack inserters in, stack inserters out. We're gonna go power poles here, get them on power, which they're not on the grid right now, but they will be in a second. Let's extend. We're like gonna be short by like 2 spots, which is a little frustrating, but it's fine. There we go. Now you've got power taken from you. And this is going to be, so iron's being dropped off. Steel collection and routing is going to be something that we're going to have to do, which we have not actually done yet, but that's going to be a whole other train that does not exist yet. So this is just going to come straight through the trees here. And then I think somewhere right around maybe here, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to say like split once, split twice, and get routed to here. 1, 2, 3, 4. This goes up. There we go. And then down. All you guys come down. There we go. All right, so now technically we are automating, quote unquote, some amount of steel production. It's not much. It will never be much, but it is somewhat nice. Now, why does this happen? This is throughput. I don't understand why this happens. Why the lines that go straight ends up with just less on it. Or it ends up being used less. This is what I don't understand. How this happens like this. I don't know. I don't get it. Let's take a look at you. What are you waiting for? Right. So unfortunately that doesn't really make sense anymore. You need to be regularly going around and making these deliveries. You can't be waiting for this. Yeah, you can't be waiting for this. You've just got to go as regularly as possible. You can do like circuit waiting times for like when you pick up, when you're dropping off. Like we can't like just only route you when you're needed or whatever. Like especially if you're going to many different places, that doesn't really work. Because yeah, you need to be on the move as often as possible. Okay, so now we've got steel, which is, you know, technically on the route. So that's what we ended up using this for, and this is somewhat scalable, so I'm not super worried about it. The reason I ended up using electric furnaces here is because I realized after I made a bunch of steel furnaces that the iron I would need, if I were going to use regular furnaces, I'd need to find a way to route coal up here. And I really didn't want to figure out routing another material out here after I'd already started this process. So instead of routing some coal over here, I just decided to turn it into electric furnaces because we should have them as electric furnaces. And the hell? I guess they're... Wait, why did you just immediately skip over that? Hold on, I'm confused. I gotta check this again. You immediately read in a 1,000... That doesn't make any sense. How did you read in? That makes utterly no sense. I'm going to clear that for now. I don't know why that's happening. This circuit, it seems to read that from another circuit. I'm not sure how it's getting there. Because it's sending to train. That is what's happening. I am very confused. So finish this run, and then you should drop off this time. Huh. Yeah, you should be reading nothing. I really don't know what's happened here. Oh well. Regardless, we've got it figured out now. Okay, so I've got my trains moving around delivering. So now I've got steel in the box. It's ready to go. Okay, so now we need to spend that steel, and that's the next step, because the next step is making rail. So I guess now instead of doing that here, we're just going to do that here. So the next step is going to be making rail, which we've already done technically, but we're going to do it here now. So rail, in order to make rail, we need three things. We need raw stone, we need steel plates, and we need iron sticks. Now we've got iron plate, or we've got steel right here, which is going to have to come around to here, but we can't put in iron sticks, so we're going to have to deliver iron, regular iron. All right, this is going to be yet another place which is delivering regular iron. All right, so this is how I'm going to do this. I'm going to try and figure out a delivery mechanism that isn't, like, objectively terrible. And I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to certainly try. So I want to create, like, for instance, maybe like a diagonal off of which a number of sideways tracks fire. Let's put this by near the corner, because I don't think, if I do this right, I don't think it being that close to the corner is actually going to be a detriment. And all I'm doing is eating up additional space here without needing to. So let's put it here, and let's just go off on this diagonal. Something like that. And now let's try doing something like... Of course, I got all this rocky terrain that I'm working through here. Something like that. Now my problem is, though, is that each successive, like if I just run this off and try and connect it back to here, each successive one is going to be shorter. But I don't think I want to connect it back to this. What if instead of that, I like... Yeah, what if I just made it the length that I would normally have made it and just extend it out? And then it connects into different spots, something like that. Because this needs 3 items, so yeah, so it should have 3 stops. Oh, I'm not holding on to enough rail. Holy heck. Let's just make a few in my hand here. I mean, I've got so much of this frickin' stone. Just make a few rail in my hand here. There we go. Okay. Is this better? I guess is the question. So I need 3 train stops. Let's go A, B. We can put it here. B and Let's see. Let's do that. So this is going to be a chain signal here because you shouldn't come into this if you can't get into one of these slots. But that shouldn't ever be a problem, but just in case. We're going to put a chain signal here. And then each one of these is going to be its own rail signal. Something like that. And then each one is going to be its own sort of end. Now if I take a look, I'm going to pick this up just to look at the blocks. Except here's my problem. Nobody's going to enter this straight away unless they can also enter the super intersection that I have over here. I guess this should be its own. Maybe this area should be a block all on its own. So maybe I should go with like a chain signal here. And then a rail signal over here. That way, this area is a block all on its own. Each one of these three is a block, and this sort of like prelude into this area is a block all on its own. And nobody will enter into this unless they can also get into here. I don't know. This seems iffy, but we'll give it a shot. This shouldn't... I mean, at the very least, it's not going to cause anything to crash and burn. It's not going to cause any major collisions. It might just cause potentially a slowdown somewhere. It shouldn't even be able to create a full lockdown. At least it shouldn't be able to. Hard to tell. But I don't think it will. So, now then. I guess this is going to be sort of our production area then. So we're going to drop... So this is going to be... this is going to be a block. So this is block. Rail. And this is going to be stone drop. This next one's going to be block. Rail. Is going to be iron. And then this last one is going to be block. Rail. Steel. Okay. So I actually am like so out of wood. I'm actually going to make some of these chests out of iron plates instead of making all of mine out of wood like I always do. I'm actually going to make some of these out of iron, make some of these into iron chests. Okay, I'm going to need a ton of stack inserters, and I'm going to need to then route these guys over here into my production. So, iron's already on. Iron was this one here. Iron is already on. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's go like, let's just do fast inserters. Why not? So iron's already on, so this will be the fastest one for us to get. So what do we do here? Well, I think standard process. And then do I take the two of them out, or do I join them together into one? So I don't need iron. I need iron sticks, which creates two of them every half a second. And rail needs one of them every half a second. So each facility producing iron sticks can feed two facilities producing rail. If, say, I want, this produces 2 rail every half second, what do I need for the science production? That needs 30 rail every 21 seconds, which is a bit awkward of a ratio, because that means for every 10 rail, that's 7 seconds. So every 7 seconds, it needs 10 rail. And in 7 seconds, $14 rail is produced. No, 28 rail is produced. Every 7 seconds, 28 rail is produced. Which means that one facility producing rail can feed 2 and then some facilities making production science. That's such a weird, why is that? That's so awkward. So if I want to just pick a number of things that are production science packs, if I just want to say pick a number, I just say I want to support, I guess I really shouldn't be thinking about it in this way. I think I should just be producing a lot of rail, right? Like, I shouldn't really be thinking about this. I think I should just be thinking about how much rail I want to produce. And I think I want to do, like, let's say 10 facilities producing rail. Let's say that's what I want. I want 10 facilities producing rail, which means that every second it's going to go 20 times, which means every second I need 20 iron sticks. So I need 20 iron sticks a second. Iron sticks are produced for a second, which means I would need 5 facilities producing iron sticks. Okay, that's the easy one. Yeah, I need 5 facilities producing iron sticks. Okay, that's the easy way to go about that math. 5 facilities can be easily fed by a single belt. So let's just combine these guys together. Like this. Boom. And then we'll run this out. We'll run it under the track. And this will feed directly into 5 facilities. Just like so. 2, 3, 4, 5. Easy peasy. Each individual facility, in order to make iron sticks, needs to bring in 1 iron plate twice a second. So just a single fast inserter will work. Probably. And a single fast inserter going out will be fine. Actually, no, 2 You might actually need 2 going out in order to fully purge everything. So 1 going in, 2 going out. Fast inserters. Let's take the fast transport belts that we're going to use. Yeah, they're going to run this way. Yeah. And they're going to go out into where we're going to be producing the rest of the rail. So stone is going to be grabbed from here. And in our facility, we need, yeah, it's even amounts stone, iron, sticks, steel, which means that 1 side of 1 belt. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. These will join up with, so we need to join these up into 1 as well. So this is going to be a very similar process. Oops. Oh, I went the wrong way. What am I doing? Very silly of me. There we go. Join these together. And these are all going to run over. This is going to join that. And then we'll bring in stone from over here as well. This is going to just go to one belt as well. And we're gonna, this is gonna combine into 1, which is gonna come out this way, and we'll likewise jump over once I can actually make one of these in hand right now. Let's do that. Actually, okay, so I'm gonna have to go and grab a bunch of resources. I need to make a bunch of fast and or stack inserters. I need to make some switchers, some underground belts, grab a bunch of belts as well, and join this all up. And I'm going to do 1 quick time. Actually, you know what? That might be the start of our next episode, because I just noticed the time and I think we're good here. So that'll be the start of our next episode is where I go to do that. So another thing I'm thinking of doing is taking a look at our power situation here. Okay, well, right now it's fine because it's during the day, and I think, like, we haven't even really touched our accumulator charge. It doesn't look like, it's hard to say, but I don't think we have. So I don't think I need to worry about power right now too much. So yeah, I think we're gonna finish this up, finish up this block, which is gonna be producing as much rail as possible, get the rail on the line, and then electric furnaces are next. So electric furnaces require a bunch of steel. We're going to have to create a whole system to create advanced circuits just like we did in the last area, and then we're going to have to bring in stone bricks. So putting stone and stone bricks on the train network is going to be also something that we have to do. So I'm going to set up the infrastructure to get this ready, and then the next thing is going to be getting stone and stone bricks on the network. So once that's done, we're good for Purple Science. So we're getting along here. I'd say, you know, a few more episodes and we're going to be in Purple Science. And once we're in Purple Science, we're pretty much beelining it to the end of the game, because that's the only science you really need to end the game. And I am kind of interested in trying to see if we can just finish off the game without needing to go deep into sort of yellow science and, you know, see if we can finish off the game for real. I think I'm actually gonna, well, there's several things that we want to do to get there, of course, which is like advanced oil processing, lasers and stuff like that. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and unlock lasers real quick. Let's just start that real fast. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. My name has been Tanis Fugit. Thank you for stopping by the Fugitive Theater. As always, you know, if you like what we're doing here, like the video, share it around, subscribe to the channel, all those YouTube things that I don't like saying, but it does technically help. So thanks, guys, and I'll see you around. Bye-bye.